This process of what we call Corona will and create a new school of thoughts, a new school of understanding the creation. For so many of you has been a system. What can we do? In the teaching in the past few weeks, we have elaborated on understanding the totality of the knowledge about the soul of the man. Today, I want to teach you something new. Something that some of you can make it tangible. Some of you already achieved this but never followed it up, or you couldn't follow it because you couldn't understand it. Some 4 or 5 years ago, we brought this out in a process of organs or arms or hands in the test we did in Canada with Ali. And then it got stopped because some things weren't not understood. And now after years, we think most of you will be able to achieve this. This is the reason why we introduce the 5 cups. Last week and the last 2 weeks, we showed you the elevation of the soul of the man, understanding the presence of the soul of the man in respect to use of what we call cups of the soul. But now there is a dimension. In reality, you should be able to extend the soul of the man beyond the boundary of the physicality, in a way sending it through a shock wave of fields of the plasma condition of your own creation, which has created you, to cover the boundary of your physicality, which means in a way you go through a shock wave of fields that any virus, any other things will be seen to, will be balanced off. In a way, you go through a cleansing system through your own structure. How do we do this? In the process of last week's teaching, I showed you how to use the cup of soul. And then, in that process, how to create a soul of control of your own within you that is lower in field strength, that the cups you have created will feed you. In that process, the interaction of their fields with what I call humbleness of your soul will manifest, enlighten your soul. And in the same process, when you come to understand that the soul of the Creator is much more humbler than you, then in line with the strength of the field from your soul, you will see the light of the Creator. It's the same process. As they say, the same in macro and in micro. So in this process, many of you understood. Many of you are trying to find a way to see if your soul can shine. In time, some of you will achieve it. But in that process, we come to the next step of understanding the use of the cups and how you can protect your physical body. In a way, let me explain to you in a very simple way. You are in a position in a physical danger, and you do not want the physicality to be there. That will go through it. An earthquake, a car crash, an attack, air crash. You are in it and you don't want the physicality to be touched. In a way, you learn how to extend the fields of your soul beyond the soul of physicality and the physical body of the man. You all have the tools with you for past few weeks, past few months. Go back to the 5 cups. What do you need to do? How can you teach your soul or your physical soul to reach beyond the boundary of your physicality, that it covers it? In a way, if you go, this has been taught in the 3 books, and it's been taught in some of the papers released, and it's been taught and it's been signed into the patent. Now for the first time, maybe you can do it. Maybe you have a system that can not only elevate your soul, but extend your soul in a dimension of physicality where the physical energy balance of your soul with its environment makes you invisible. In a way, you become a source, but in a way cannot be seen. In one of the patterns and in one of the papers and the books, I call it as a black envelope. Whatever you put in the envelope, it covers, doesn't matter what's in it. You can put a pound in it, you can put a note in it, you can put a key in it. It's the envelope which covers what's in it. And this envelope is what we're going to teach you today, that many of you can start physically see, physically test, physically understand the work of your soul. We're targeting for 21st of March 2021. And in this process, a man who can cover and understand and be aware of the functionality of his soul will be the man who will take the first steps in the direction of understanding the operation of his own souls towards the Creator and becoming a passengers of the universe. What do? Go back. You have the soul. You have set up the system of the soul and you're in it. Now you have to create a condition that your soul becomes more powerful than your physicality. That in comparison to physicality, in taking the energy from the soul in a specific way to the soul of physicality, you create a balanced barrier where the physicality becomes inside the atmosphere and within the sphere of the soul of the man. As I go back, I hidden this in a beautiful way in a paper which was published, Interatomic Fusion. Interatomic fusions we spoke before is the secret of creation. Not in how you allow an electron to fuse inside a proton to create energy, but in a way how you extend the fields of the proton that goes beyond the electron. This is what it is. Many of you have been told about a point in front of your forehead that you have given it many names. You call it whatever gland. Use this gland, if you understand it, by its dimension and the strength, to extend the soul to it and then beyond it. In a way, you have to understand the soul of the man at this point, at this conjuncture, will manifest itself as a light, as a balanced light with its environment. Many of you use, and in doctors tell us that this gland is right in front of your forehead. And in so many things connected to it, because it's the electron in the structure of the atomic structure of the body of the man. The soul of the man is the proton. And this electron at that boundary decides the feature of the man. And in that process, if you understand it, you can create using the cups of the soul of physicality in the same process. By placing the cup of physicality in respect to your soul, and cup of physicality in respect to the environment of the gravitational magnetic field of the inertia, you should be able to extend your souls outside. In a way, if you understand it and can create the right condition, you can become invisible in a visible position. Because it's the inertia which you have taken position on. If you go for the soul of the planet, you will take that position in respect to the planet. In a way, it shouldn't say, you see me now, you don't see me now. In a way, this is the process of extending the soul of the man beyond the soul of physicality, but within the dimension of the soul and the soul material state that makes you to manifest yourself in a visible condition. In time, in practice, you learn how to do this. Many people in the universe use the furthest extremity of their body to create this condition and position. The tip of a finger, the tip of a toe. and then you connect to it. And in the strength as being lower than the strength of your soul, you create an envelope. You will not be seen. If you are getting attacked and you see a bullet, you can instantly do that the bullet goes through you, because you don't exist in a matter state where the bullet has been made for. This is how we make the wars not worth fighting anymore. This is how we, in a way, disappear the need of the man to kill to live. Because if you can reach to this point, you will start understanding how to feed your soul. In a way, the feeding of the soul of the man through the extension of the soul beyond the physical boundary becomes part of your daily routine. It becomes how you cleanse yourself. In a way, in the scriptures and the past, they called it to pray. To pray wasn't there to pray to the Creator, was to pray beyond the boundary, that the man find himself in a way to feed himself through the soul of the man. And man got it again the wrong way, the physical way of bending and standing and praying and the rest of it. If you can make the cups of what you call inertia with a cup of the soul of physicality in a specific position and condition of your soul as you structured it before, you will be invisible. In a way, you become invisible and you become a source of energy, but not as a light. When you are at the strength of the soul of the man, you become a light. When you are at the strength of the boundary of the envelope, the physicality of the man, and you can create a balance, you become invisible. And this can be done in a very easy way, because you need to do this. If you travel within the dimension of the space, when you go, for example, if you go in the physical matter from a UFO into the landing position on the planet, you need to know this process. Because you leave the physicality dimension of the controlled environment to unknown, where you have to change. And when you withdraw the soul from the dimension of the physicality, then you see what shape your body will take in respect to the environment and how it will guarantee survival. Because you have created a balanced field environment in respect to the inertia of the environment you entered, plus its magnetic position of this planet. This way, if you're in deep space and you want to take what we call at the moment the spacewalk, you don't need to create such a thing as a gravitational magnetic field of the planet, but of the environment, fast flowing fields, but still creating magnetic and gravitational fields. This is how we said from the beginning. The 5 cups is a sandbox for many of you to start working on, and anyone or any nation which ignores this, it does it at their peril, because those who can come and go, they'll be through your house without you knowing, they'll be through your life without you knowing, as they have the possibility to do this. If you have taught and you understand it, this cannot be done, because in a way of protection of the fields, no one can intrude with the dimension of your soul. In teaching this process, in teaching how to make man to become invisible and a way to feed his soul that he feeds his physicality, when you retract the soul back to its position, as now it becomes the receiver, and in that position soul manifests itself within the structure of the physicality, then you can regenerate, you can repair, you can feed all the cells of the body which could have had unbalanced fields. In this process, this is part of the teaching of the deep space travel. As I said, for those of you who do not reach the point of the elevation of understanding the work of your soul, we give you the UFOs. We give you Maghrab systems. For those of you who elevate to understand the work of your souls, this is the way you travel the depth of the space. Because I always said, when I teach, I do not teach for the human race only, but my knowledge is for the soul of the universe, that every soul created in a unicos hears and gets elevated. It might not sound something for you as humans, that it can be done, but those travelers of deep space who receive this knowledge the same as time as you do, but they're more advanced, now they know how to transmute and transfer. And those who are on the edge of the knowledge of the creation, know will find a way to find a closer way in line to meeting their creators. The evolution of the technology in teaching is understanding the knowledge from the creator. And in this process, many of you will find new positions. Many of you will understand, as I said before, in the Maghrab systems, in the enhancement systems, we don't create the matter. As I was teaching in the Iranian teaching last night, we do not create matter in the enhancement units. We create the soul of the matter, that what it fits into the inertia can convert. We create the soul of the gold. We create the soul of the copper. And in the condition of the inertia of the system, it creates copper if the wish of the man who runs it is to produce copper. This is the same. If your wish is to produce invisibility, balance in energy and fields, this is what you shall receive. The teaching of today has to be understood, especially what those of you who work and start working on the balanced field effects. Understand the work of the field. And it's for those of you who understood, have made the systems, have made the cups, now you test. This is much simpler than trying to see the soul, trying to elevate your soul, because this is a stepping stone in a way of cleansing the physicality from dimension of its needs, that the soul becomes free to be able to elevate itself. We taught you from top to bottom. As much as in a physical condition, we taught you from bottom to top. We gave you the cup of life to start with. Then we gave you the second cup. Then we gave you the soul. Then we gave you the soul of the planet. But now there is a sixth cup which comes into operation, that it needs for the man to have to decide which universe he will travel into. The cup number 6 is the dimension of the physicality of the man who wants to travel within the space of this universe. You need this to be below the cup of the soul of the planet. And in that process, mankind has not achieved that level of knowledge. But for those of you, the travel of the universe, who understood this and have already reached this position to travel the depth of the universe, you need this cup, that you create the fields of the position in the universe, that you will arrive at that point. This is the way when the physicality of the man leaves behind on earth, and the soul of the man leaves to find a new position in the universe. The balance of the magnetic gravitational field of the soul of the universe, in conjunction with the fields of the soul of the man, will dictate the position of the soul of the man in the universe, where it will become the center point of the soul, a new star. In a way, in the future to come, when mankind reaches the maturity of the knowledge, then he can pinpoint where the soul of the father is, the grandfather is, or the brother. In a way, this is the next elevation of the knowledge for mankind and those in the space who understand the knowledge of it. If you could understand, and in the coming time, many of you be able to create the soul of the universe, you become the passengers of the universe. There is no GPS. It's understanding the field strength of the position. Up to now, your soul was in condition and position of the soul of physicality. In that position, you can remove the soul of the physicality of the earth, the magnet of the earth from the system, and make the soul of the cup of the universe the position of the center. You become passengers of the universe, and you become detached from the earth. In so many ways, then you have to understand how you will change the dimension of the inertia. If you remove the cup of inertia, then you stay in the level of the physicality and the soul of the man in the dimension of the universal position. In a way, you become independent of the physicality on this planet and the position and the space on this planet. This knowledge has been hidden from man up to now. Now we've shown you the way. In a coming time, the scientists of this planet will develop this technology. The Keshe Foundation Research Centers will show the first systems in the coming weeks. We have already set up to achieve this in the systems which we have developed.